Welcome to Biotech Academy. So this module is for NEET aspirants, and today we've already discussed about the living world, which is chapter 1 of 11th standard. And so today we'll discuss some of the previous year's questions which have been asked in various exams like AIPMT, aims, etc., from previous years. And although this from this chapter not many questions are asked, but yes, a few questions have been asked which we'll discuss today. So the first question, and we're discussing questions from 2014 to 2019 paper. So we've referred this paper. And so the first question is, that a mixture of yeast, sugar and water was taken in a test tube. So what was the mixture of yeast, sugar and water in test tube was taken, and after 1 hour bubbles were observed. So these bubbles were the formation of bubbles. So the question is that the formation of bubbles were due to first is respiration, second is photosynthesis, third is digestion, and fourth is excretion. So when a mixture of yeast, sugar and water was collected in a test tube and left for 1 hour, after one hour bubbles were seen in the test tube, and the question is what is the process which led to the formation of bubbles. So is it respiration, photosynthesis, digestion, or excretion? So when we were discussing about the experiments which were carried out to basically see how the life forms evolved. So these were the primitive experiments, and so yeast, basically, because here yeast was taken in the test tube. So yeast underwent anaerobic respiration, because by anaerobic respiration, because the test tube was closed, the mouth of the test tube was closed. So under anaerobic respiration and fermentation, following the fermentation and anaerobic respiration, carbon dioxide gas was evolved, and that was the reason for the formation of bubbles in the tube. So there were two processes which were involved: respiration and fermentation. All the fermentation is not in the option, so we'll take our respiration. So that is the correct answer. All right. So now the next question. So now the second question is each scientific name. It's about name nomenclature. So each scientific name in binomial nomenclature consists of how many names? 5, 2, 3 and 1. So we as you all are aware that binomial nomenclature was given by Carolus Linné, and according to that, each scientific name consists of two parts. The first one is genus, and the second word describes species. So each scientific name is made up of two words. The first word describes the genus, and the second one describes the species. The names are written always in italics, and the first alphabet of genus is capital, while the first alphabet of species remains small. So what is the question asked? The question has been asked that each scientific name in binomial nomenclature consists of how many words? So 5, 2, 3 and 1 are the options. So how many? What is the answer? The answer is 2, because it is composed of two words, genus and species. All right. Now let's come to the third question. So the third question is again on systematics. What is systematics? So systematics refers to the study of, the first option is nomenclature and identification. Nomenclature and identification of plants and animals. That is the first option. The second option is different kinds of organisms. Systematics is the study of different kinds of organisms and their classification. The third option is diversity of kinds of organisms and their relationship. And the fourth option is identification and classification of plants and animals. So these are the options, and you need to choose the correct option which defines what systematics is. So by definition, systematics is the branch of science which deals with the study of diversity of all life forms and their comparative evolutionary relationship. So systematics is the study of is the branch of science which deals with the diversity of different kinds of organisms, like plants, all life forms actually, be it prokaryotes or eukaryotes, be it lower organisms or higher organisms, be it plants or animals, or diversity of all kinds of life forms, and as well as their evolutionary relationship. So as per the definition, the correct option is third, which says diversity of kinds of organisms and their relationship. So this is the correct answer. And this particular question has been asked in NEET, AFMC as well as in AIMS. Let's go to the next question. So you need to understand various terminologies. Basically, you need to understand or distinguish between what various terminologies that the different science forms are there. All right. So then the next question is, the fourth question is on nomenclature again. So binomial. So the next question is binomial nomenclature was given by, first is Theophrastus, second is Linné, third is R.H. Whittaker, and fourth is Aristotle. So we've just a question before, we've discussed that the binomial nomenclature was introduced by Carolus Linné, where each scientific name comprises of two words, so the genus and species. So binomial nomenclature was given by Carolus Linné. So this is the B answer. Option B is the correct answer. Now we start with the next question, which is the fifth question, which was particularly from AIMS, and the question is, what is about taxon? So you need to define what a taxon is. You need to choose the definition of taxon. So a taxon is, the first option is group of living organisms. Second is group of related species. Third is taxonomic group of taxonomic group of any ranking. and fourth is group of related species. So what is the definition of taxon? So basically taxon is any hierarchy which defines which any in the hierarchy of classification of organisms, any rank is a taxon. So basically taxon is a taxonomic group of any ranking. It could be species, it could be genus, it could be family, it could be order. Each unit is a taxon. So the correct option is C, which is taxonomic group of any ranking is known as taxon. So the next question is, all living organisms are linked to one another because you need to choose why all organisms are linked to one another. So question is all living organisms are linked to one another because the first option is they have common genetic material. They have common genetic material of same type. Second is they share common genetic material but to varying degrees. The third option is all have common cellular organization, and fourth option is all of the above. So you need to you must be aware that each genus, actually all organisms, they carry genetic information in the form of DNA, and all living organisms, they carry genetic information in the form of DNA. However, there are variations between species to species. So the first option cannot be the right answer because it says they have common genetic material of same type. If in case they have common genetic material of same type, then they cannot differ so much. Like plants and animals, there are like both phenotypic and genotypic variations between plants and animals. Although they are organisms, they are life forms, but their genetic material, or both of them, they contain DNA as their genetic material, but the information is different. And if at all they are same, then they cannot show so contrasting features. So it's true that all organisms, all life forms, they carry genetic information, but their variation, but the degree is different in terms of variations. So then the second option is they share common genetic material but to varying degrees. Yes, this is the correct option. Then let's come to the third option, which says all have common cellular organization. Cellular organization does not have to do anything with their cellular organization is just the makeup, and it doesn't have to do anything with their features, with their phenotype. And the third option and the fourth option is all of the above. So the first one is wrong, so this cannot, again this and the first option and the third option, they are incorrect, so this cannot again be the correct option. So the correct answer is B, which says that they share common genetic material, but to varying degrees. Alright, so now the next question is, you have to name the father of zoology. The first option is John Ray. The second option is Carolus Linnaeus. The third option is Mendel. And fourth option is Aristotle. You have to name father of zoology. Father of zoology, the four options are John Ray, Carolus Linnaeus. So it's C. Linnaeus, Carolus Linnaeus, Mendel and Aristotle. So the correct answer is Aristotle. Then the next question is again on species, which is one of the taxon, which is the lowest taxa in the hierarchy. And so we have to choose. So group of interbreeding organisms. Group of interbreeding organisms are called genus, species, family and order. So if you remember, when we were discussing about the hierarchy and we started with species, what was the definition? The definition of species is the group of interbreeding organisms which can interbreed among themselves and produce fertile offspring of the same type. So that is known as species. So the correct option is species. Group of interbreeding means which can breed among themselves. Obviously, a dog and a cat cannot breed among themselves, and so they are different species. And there are different varieties of dogs, but they can interbreed. So, group of interbreeding organisms are species. Then, the next question is you need to select the correctly written scientific name of mango, which was first described by Linnaeus. So basically you have to choose. There are four names which I'll be writing over here. Four scientific names of mango. In the four different forms I'll be writing the scientific name of mango, and you have to choose the correct option where it is written as per the classification given by Carolus Linnaeus, binomial nomenclature. So the first option is Mangifera. Mangifera indica. The second option is Mangifera indica Carlin. The third option is Mangifera indica Lin. So, please recall when we were discussing about the scientific names and the nomenclature which was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus, which is widely accepted by the scientific community. So, Carolus Linnaeus gave two words for each scientific name. The first word describes the genus and the second word describes species. The first alphabet of genus is always capital, and the first alphabet of species is always written small. So this cannot be the correct option. And also it was described by Linnaeus. So Lin is abbreviated because it was proposed by Linnaeus. So many places it is written as L also, L dot. So that also stands for Linnaeus classification. And then all the scientific names are always written in italics, if in the printed form. And if you're writing all the scientific names anywhere by hand, then you need to underline. So underlining means it is italicized. So these two, then this option also it is excluded because it's not underlined, so it's not the correct way of writing the scientific name. So this is not italicized, so this cannot be the option. Then we come to the B and C. Always, in order to mention or in order to give credit to Carolus Linnaeus, always after scientific name, either L or Lin, Linn is always is written, not Carl Lin. So this option is also incorrect. So the correct option is this Mamnifera indica, which is italicized because it is underlined, M capital I small, and Lin abbreviated form to describe that this name is given by Carolus Linnaeus. So this is the correct option. Then we come to the next question, and it's the last question. It's on herbarium. So the question is the label on herbarium sheet does not carry information on what are the options? The option is date of collection, name of collector, then local names, and the fourth option is height of the plant. So what is herbarium? Actually, herbarium is basically a collection of sheets where we store the information on plant species and what all information is mentioned on the herbarium sheet. So a herbarium sheet contains the specimen, plus along with the specimen a label is pasted on the lower right corner. Always the pasting of the label is always on the right corner, and so the right corner contains information on the scientific name, local name of the collector, date of the collector, so family of the family, then locality, and the collection number, and optional information which may be there on the label or may not are plant characteristics. So which must contain information are date of the scientific name, common name, family, locality, date of collection, and name of collector. So date of collection is there, name of collector is there, local name is there. So what is not there on the label, that is the height of the plant. So this is the correct option. So these are some of the questions which have been asked from the living world in various exams between 2014 and 2019. So next we'll move on to the second chapter in the next video, and if you all have any queries or doubts, you can ask me in the comment section or on the email ID. And once again, I would like to apologize for not being able to upload videos from long time, but because of certain unavoidable circumstances, I was not able to do so. And please go through the lecture, hit like and subscribe. Hit like if you find the content useful. Please subscribe to the channel for more such videos on detailed explanations of different chapters of 11th and 12th biology and questions from various NEET exams, medical entrance tests, and share among your friends. All the best, and thank you very much.